Professor Clax adjusted his ocular membranes as the projector flickered to life in the dimly lit classroom. The eager faces of his Xenohistory students, representing 12 different species from across the Galactic Federation, turned toward the screen. Today, Clax began, his voice resonating through his translator. We discuss Regulation 772B of the Galactic War Conventions, the prohibition of human military engagement. Can anyone tell me why humans are banned from participating in galactic conflicts? A Vrel student raised a tentacle. Because they're physically weak and would be easily defeated. Polite clicks of disagreement rippled through the classroom. A blue-skinned Taurian with 4 eyes spoke next. My family believes it's because humans are too primitive to understand proper war protocols. Professor Clax's skin shifted to a pale yellow, the color of academic disappointment. These are common misconceptions. Today I will show you classified historical footage from the Krell-Ordani War of 2187, when humans were first and last permitted to join a galactic conflict. The professor dimmed the lights further and activated the security shield around the classroom. What you're about to see is restricted to advanced military academies. As third-cycle students, the Council has finally granted you clearance. On screen appeared footage of a massive battlecruiser bearing Earth's insignia docking at a Federation station. The timestamp showed it was 3 months into what had been predicted to be a 20-year war between 2 major galactic powers. This was the U.S. at tenacity, carrying Earth's modest contribution of 500 soldiers to the Federation's side, explained Clax. The Krell-Ordani War had already claimed millions of lives across 17 star systems. The footage shifted to a meeting room where Federation generals from various species met with a single human officer, a stern-faced woman with short gray hair. Commander Ada Reynolds, Clax identified. Note how the Federation leadership initially dismissed her strategic proposals as unnecessarily aggressive. A student interrupted. Professor, I was taught humans had limited space travel capabilities. How could they pose any threat? That excellent question, Clax replied, advancing to the next segment. The screen now showed battlefield footage. Federation forces have been following standard war protocols, tactical retreats, measured advances, ceremonial challenges, and regulated engagement hours that had characterized galactic warfare for millennia. Then came the humans. Where Federation forces disengaged at sunset according to convention, human soldiers continued fighting through the night. Where galactic troops maintained formation and announced their approaches, humans used stealth, terrain, and weather conditions to their advantage. Where alien forces respected the ancient traditions of battlefield honor, humans laid traps, employed psychological warfare, and fought with a ferocity that shocked even their allies. The humans called it asymmetric warfare, explained Clax. Within 2 weeks, they had completely upended the traditional battle rhythms that had governed interstellar conflict for 15,000 years. The footage showed Commander Reynolds addressing frustrated Federation generals. You fight wars to minimize casualties while maintaining political balance. We fight wars to win them as quickly as possible. A 4-armed Nexari student spoke up. But Professor, this just shows humans are dishonorable. It doesn't explain the ban. Watch, said Clax softly. The next segment showed the human contingent targeting resource supplies rather than military assets. They savaged communication systems instead of engaging fleets directly. They ignored symbolic targets in favor of practical ones. And most disturbingly to the alien observers, they adapted their strategies daily, making them unpredictable in a galactic culture where war followed predictable, almost ceremonial patterns. 78 days after human involvement began, the Krell-Ordani forces surrendered unconditionally, Clax stated. A 20-year war ended in less than 3 months, with human casualties at less than 2%. The classroom fell silent. The ban was not implemented because humans were weak, continued Clax, his skin now a deep purple of solemnity. It was implemented because every major power in the galaxy realized that if humans were ever allowed to fight without restrictions, traditional galactic warfare, with its rules, honor, and measured political outcomes, would cease to exist. The professor advanced to the final slide, the actual text of Regulation 772B. Whereas human military doctrine fundamentally undermines the civilized conduct of warfare, and whereas human strategic thinking introduces unpredictable destabilizing elements to interstellar conflicts, and whereas human forces demonstrate alarming efficiency in causing enemy capitulation rather than acceptable military stalemate, Earth forces are hereby prohibited from all future galactic conflicts. This prohibition is endorsed by all signatories, including Earth representatives, who acknowledge the danger their methods pose to galactic stability. Clax switched off the projector. Humans aren't banned from galactic war because they're dangerous enemies. They're banned because they're terrifying allies. They transform war from a political instrument into an existential event. In the 3 months humans participated in that conflict, 17 fleet admirals committed ritual resignation and shame. A student in the back raised a hand. But Professor, if humans are so effective, why would they agree to be banned? Clax's skin rippled to a thoughtful gray. Because humans understood something that took the rest of us centuries to grasp. They weren't just changing how we fight wars. They were changing why we fight them. And not even humans were prepared for that responsibility. As the classroom lights came back up, the students sat in stunned silence, their understanding of galactic history forever altered. Your assignment, said Professor Clax, is to consider how human exclusion from galactic conflicts has shaped the last century of interstellar relations, and perhaps more importantly, what might happen if they were ever invited back.